I give my friend a custom keyboard. The reason why I'm even building this for my friend is, one, because he's using a Mac keyboard, which is unacceptable, and two, because I kind of accidentally dragged him into the keyboard space. And because his birthday is coming up, I thought it would be the perfect gift. I originally planned on building him a keyboard with only $50. I seriously researched for a week to find a good keyboard under $50, and I almost ended up going with this.
Bruh.
And I'm pretty sure it has a virus on its software. I just made a Discord server where I can talk and hang out with you. So if you're interested, then the link will be in the description. Now back to the video. Because I didn't want to get the keyboard with the viruses on it, everything kind of seemed lost. There's no way I could possibly build a half-decent keyboard with $50. So I resorted to my last option: emailing a dozen companies for a free keyboard. I only had 1.3k subs at the time, and I'm really grateful for that, but I didn't think it would be enough. But I had to give it a shot. And of course, I got rejected by a few companies, which was expected. And just a disclaimer, all the companies that I talked to were very nice. But you know who saved the day? EpoMaker. I DM'd EpoMaker on Instagram, and they were very nice and redirected me to the email, stating my case in the project I had in mind, literally praying that they would accept. And a couple days later, when I woke up in the morning, bang! I got the email saying that they would be willing to send me out a keyboard. I literally was screaming and running around the house. I had no idea they would actually accept. So when they did, it was even more shocking, and I was basically saved, and the keyboard would not sound like absolute trash. So thank you so much, EpoMaker. And you know what else is crazy? That only 1% of you that watch my videos are subscribed. So please subscribe, okay? The keyboard that they sent out was the THAD Pro. They let me pick out the keycaps and the switches, and coincidentally, while researching for switches in this video, upgrading my friend's $40 keyboard, a friend that I'm building the keyboard for was there while I was researching switches, and he really wanted a THOCK switch. And when I saw that the Gateron Pro Yellow switches were in the THAD Pro as an option, it was a no-brainer. For the keycaps, my friend chose a Theory MDA, and the other option was the Monet V2, but it really doesn't matter because I'll be trading them out anyways. He wanted either gray, yellow, or black, so I sent him some options, and this is the one he chose. A white and gray set that cost $42. But of course, stupid me didn't read the shipping time, and it said that it would arrive March 24th, and keep in mind it was February 22nd. But luckily I found another one which was basically the exact same, so it wasn't too bad. And before we go any further, all these thoughts are mine, and I was not paid to say anything good about this keyboard. In the box, they give you the keyboard, but then they also give you a manual, extra switches, a keycap puller, switch puller, a braided USB cable, and some novelty keys. If you flip the case over, you will find a USB holder and flippy feet with 2 levels. Here is a typing test. The Gateron Pro Yellows actually sound really good factory lubed. In my opinion, don't need to be lubed. And you know what that means? I don't need to spend 3 to 5 hours lubing switches. But honestly, the typing experience for what you get is good. But for me, it just feels meh. I don't know what it is. Missing foam, tape, new switches. So the only thing to do is open it up. Wait, how do you open this? Was the first question I had in mind. And I told myself that I didn't want to look up a tutorial, but after spending 15 minutes being confused, I gave in and looked up a tutorial and found that it was a snap-in case, which means that you need to pry it open, but I found it pretty hard to do, which is a good and bad thing. The good thing is it won't fall apart easily, but the bad thing is it's hard to get open. And it took me a while to do. It also came with case foam, but like, what is that even doing? It's like literally 0 millimeters thick. The case had these gasket things on the side, but when I tried pushing down on the plate, it literally did nothing, and the thing was extremely stiff. And I don't even know what it's doing. It might be making the typing experience a little lighter. I don't even know. After separating the plate and the PCB, you will find that the plate is full aluminum and it comes with plate foam, which is very nice. I decided to do the tape mod because the keyboard sounded kind of flat, and I have a whole video on the tape mod, which I will link in the description. As you may have heard in the sound test, the stabilizers needed some work. But let me tell you one thing. Those stabilizers were pumped with lube. I mean, god damn, that's a lot of lube. It doesn't even solve the rattle though, so what's the point? The stabilizers were plate mounted, and one cool little feature about it is that the stabilizers didn't need to be trimmed because the stabilizers were like pre-trimmed. Because the stabilizers were rattly, I decided I should do a Holee Mod and put some dielectric grease on the wire. So in order to do that, I needed to wash the stabilizers. I put them into 2 containers of hot water and grabbed a new toothbrush, and scrub them down and soak them. It didn't even get all the lube off of it, and I did it 2 times, and so I really could care less after spending an hour trying to get all the lube off. And for the Holee Mod, I needed some scissors and a band-aid. And basically what you do is cut a tiny strip of the band-aid and put it into these 2 holes. I will link a more in-depth video on it in the description by Homogeneo. After doing the Holee Mod to all the stabilizers, I put some dielectric grease on them and put them back in the keyboard. But after doing a little sound test, I found that some of the stabilizers were a little mushy, so I did redo some of them. For the keycaps, I will be going with these Keychron blue, gray, and white ones, which were $47 on Amazon. And on the Keychron website, they are $40, but probably shipping costs will make it the same. And after putting them on, I was finally finished with the keyboard.